On Wednesday afternoon, Alvernia and Albright met for the 6 singles matches of the 12th annual Yocum Cup. First match on the course, Alvernia's Zach Stricker facing Austin Weller. Match number 2 on the day is Bobby Cullen and Sean Dugan. Match 3, Aiden Mansfield representing Alvernia against Vinny Marfisi. Match 4 is Jake Rosen and Ben Foreman for the Lions. And match 5 pictured here is Albright freshman Nick Hand facing Alvernia sophomore Tommy Godin. And the final match of the day, match 6, Alvernia's Keith Noonan taking on Sam Ignatuk. Noonan and Ignatuk both missed the first green, but this chip from the Albright senior set up a conceded bogey that was good for a win. In the second match, Tommy Godin here putting up for birdie. Lags it close enough for the concession. He wins to go 1 up through 1. Marfisi won the first hole over Aiden Mansfield in match number 6. Here Mansfield finds the green at the par 3 second. He would 2-putt for par and a win to square his match. The other match in that foursome is match 7 between Rosen and Foreman. Rosen won the opening hole with a bogey. Both players bogeyed the par 3 second, leaving Rosen 1 up through 2. In match number 5, Alvernia freshman Bobby Cullen won the opening hole with a par, halved the second with a bogey. Found a little trouble off the tee on the par 4 third, but was able to escape, hitting his ball onto the green. He would later 2-putt for his second par of the day and another winner over Sean Dugan to go 2 up through 3. Playing alongside Bobby Cullen is Zach Stricker, 2-putting from this position in match number 4 for a win on a second straight hole to go 1 up. And back to match number 6, Marfisi from the fairway, hitting it onto the green, would set up a birdie opportunity for Albright. Mansfield also found the fairway at the par 4 third. Here's his shot into the green. He would tuck it inside Marfisi and have a closer look at birdie. The greens at LedgeRock were rolling fast on Wednesday. Marfisi hits this one well past the hole on the birdie attempt, but he's able to collect himself and knock in the comebacker for par. Mansfield then stepped up and rolled in his birdie, the first of back-to-back birdies that gave him wins and put Mansfield 2 up through 4. In match number 8, Hand and Godin both found trouble on the par 4 third. Here's Hand hitting long into the bunker. He would then hit this shot onto the green. Godin, who was long, chipped down to the green. Both players end up making bogey, having the third hole, and Godin remained 1 up through 3. This chip shot from Stricker set up an up and down par save and a win. Stricker ended up building a 4-up lead through the first 7 holes. Cullen, meanwhile, 2-putted for his par on the 5th and was in the midst of winning 6 straight holes that had him 7 up through 10. Back in the fairway at the 5th, this is Rosen's approach into the green. He would spin it back. This would set up a 2-putt par and a win that set Rosen and Foreman all square through 5. Both players would make 6s on 6 and 7, and Foreman would win the 8th to go 1 up. The match between Godin and Hand reached the 5th, with Godin holding a 1-up lead. Here he is hitting onto the green, giving himself a birdie attempt from left of the pin. Hand follows, hitting his shot onto the same green inside of Godin with a nice birdie look from the right side. Godin converted his 2-putt into a par. That gave Hand a look at birdie and a chance to level the match through 5 holes. Hand steps up and knocks in the first of what would be 5 birdies on the day for the Albright freshman. Keith Noonan was facing a 1-down lead on his approach into the 5th hole. This approach shot bounces just over the back of the green, setting up an up and down attempt for the Alvernia Jr. Meanwhile, Sam Ignatuck was long left, but this deft recovery shot, setting up a par save for himself. After Noonan got up and down to save his par, Ignatuck rolled in his par putt to remain 1 up through 5. Match number 5 reached the par 5 7th, with Cullen missing the green left. This chip shot set up an opportunity for par, which he left just short, but the tap-in was enough for a winning bogey to go 4 up in his round. Now Mansfield hitting his approach shot into the same par 5 7th. Mansfield at this point 2 up on his round, hits the ball onto the front edge of the green and is able to negotiate a 2-putt for a par win and a 3-up lead through 7 over Vinny Marfisi. Sticking with the Mansfield-Marfisi match and moving ahead to the 8th hole, neither player was able to convert short putts in a look for birdie here for Mansfield. He would tap in for par, but then par for Marfisi, who ended up losing his 4th straight hole to go 4 down. In match number 8, Godin is unable to get up and down for birdie. He would settle for par at the par 5 8th. Sam Ignatuck, meanwhile, taps in a short putt for birdie and a win to go 3 up over Noonan in match number 9. And then Nick Hand steps up in match number 8 to make his 2nd birdie of the day and square his match with Tommy Godin. In match number 7, Foreman missed the 12th green left, protecting a 2-up lead. Chips up to this distance for birdie. Rosen had a chance from about 8 feet before that to run in a birdie, which he did, forcing Foreman to have to make his to have the hole. Foreman answered the birdie to stay 2 up, then Mansfield, from similar position for par, rolls this in and protects a 5-up lead through 12. In match number 8 between Hand and Godin, Godin with his first birdie of the day at 10 for the win to go 1 up. Hand replies with par at 11 for the win to square the match, then hits his drive onto the short par 4 12 as this look for eagle. Godin missed the green left off the tee. This is actually his 2nd chip from that location. Chips it up to a couple of feet to save par. And with 2 putts to win the hole, runs his eagle putt well past. Godin was able to convert for par. That forced Hand to have to make his putt for birdie and a win, which he does, going 1 up through 12. Meanwhile, ahead at 13, the par 5, Bobby Cullen is in fine shape in 2 shots, chips up here, and has a birdie look for a chance to outright win the match. Dugan legs this putt up and eventually takes double. Cullen's look for birdie is just a little shy of the hole, but it's a tap-in par. And a win, Bobby Cullen with the first point on the board for the Crusaders with a 7-5 win. With the Crusaders needing just 1 more point to retain the cup, the match between Weller and Stricker reaches the par 3 14th. Weller finds the green. Stricker found the rough right, chip down to that location, then this chip shot onto the green for par, rolls past the hole. Weller lags up the birdie putt inside a concession range. He wins the hole to go 3 down through 14. Meanwhile, match 7, back at the par 5 13th, has Rosen making this putt to save par. Foreman with a chance to top him cannot. Rosen pulls to within 1 down with 6 to play. Then it's Marfisi needing a furious comeback, makes this birdie at 13 to get back into his match with Mansfield. Then again at 14, Marfisi with a long birdie attempt, lags that up to concession range. Mansfield took an aggressive charge at his birdie attempt, hitting it 5 feet past the hole, and he's able to make the comebacker to save par and have the hole and stay 4 up in the match with Marfisi. Up ahead at 16, Zach Stricker was able to finish off his match with Austin Weller. That gave the Crusaders their 2nd point of the day, 4.5 overall, enough to retain the Yocum Cup. The Crusaders would go on to win the Yocum Cup by a final of 5.5 to 3.5, with Mansfield closing out a 3-1 win over Vinnie Marfisi. In the other matches, match 9, Sam Agatuck earned a 3-2 win over Keith Noonan, Nick Hand a 3-2 win over Tommy Godin, and Ben Foreman finished a 1-up win over Jake Rosen. Again, the Crusaders win in back-to-back years, win the Yocum Cup 5.5 to 3.5. The two teams will tee it up again next fall in the 13th annual edition of the John Yocum Challenge Cup.